Okay, so this transform, right? This map operation, CDC operation transform has been changed. Earlier, it was only map operations. Okay, so in the new version, it is coming CDC. There are few options we don't have access right now to see that. Insert, update, and delete. We see that option. Maybe that is not given based on the like maybe the access we don't have. Sometimes you don't see all the components. That might be the problem. So we are not able to see. But normal in map operation, you will see the three option we need to select. Insert, update, delete. We need to select that we see in down. So that option is not coming in map CDC operation. This is a newly added operations. Okay. So transformation. So what we'll do, you just okay, table comparison, you got it. Map CDC operation, basically you do to know which record either you want to delete, update, or insert. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's prepare this data. Sometime like whatever data we have, it's not the right way to use. What this CDC operation, we'll have to prepare a new data set with a date column and all, so that we can use history preserving and all the transform. So let's keep it aside now. In the end, we'll cover this topic. Let's complete the remaining things. Pivot, reverse pivot. CDC means the complete flow. Just this CDC operation, sorry, yeah, the CDC operation transform is what we used to do. That's been changed. I mean, maybe this is just upgraded version, but that's not having that option. So we'll discuss this in the end with the right examples, so right data set. Now let's check with the remaining transform which are required and important. Pivot and reverse pivot, and then we'll go to file as a source today. Okay. So here I'm creating a job called pivot. Data pivot. Rotates the value column to rows. So here it will be like this. On Excel, like suppose customer name. For example, okay. Customer name is the sorry department name. Department wise, let's calculate department wise. What are the uh, like maths people have taught? Total marks, total student. Uh, okay, column. Okay. Let's take good example. Month. Okay, let's prepare a data called weather forecasting, temperature. Okay, average temperature, like month name, average temperature, average temperature, like this January, or we'll keep Jan. It was 23, 25. Okay, 24. February 26. March 30. April 33. May 35. 37. June 38. July 27. August 38. September 39. 25. October. Okay, that's fine. October 34. November. November we have 30. December we have 25. Okay, so this is the temperature. Uh, like these are in the rows, sorry, columns. In the both the columns we have data. So now this is a normal data, right? So we see in two columns, right? All this data two columns. So now if we convert, right, if we pivot it, how it will look like? So if we pivot this data, so will be the column name will be, it is kind of like you will add like Jan temperature, Feb temperature, March temperature, like this. And then your data will be like this: 24, 26, 30. So this is what, like it earlier it was in a two different column. Now we'll put it in different row.
Mm. Yes.
Right. So this is what we convert based on the like requirement. Like if you are getting data for just 1 month, then how you can prepare those in no job. Let's do one thing. Let's read this data using, now we'll use file as a source. File as a source also I'll show you. Let's take this data into the table level. Say fine temperature, temperature data. Okay. Closing this. Let's create a data flow. DA file. So here we'll take directly file as a source. So not required to create a table. So here you have Excel workbooks, right? In the Excel workbook, we need to create a new Excel, right click new. So here you can see existing people have existing records. So you can see the properties, how a Excel looks like. If you click, it will just double click, you'll see. Double click, you'll see the properties like file locations. People are directly putting, it is directly reading from the um file location. If it is a desktop, right? So you don't have to select, but usually either it can be stored in a desktop or any file server also people put. So if you have a file server, then it will get configured, then you'll see that option. Otherwise, directly you can access from the desktop. Like this, you need to create. So this is one example. We'll create our own. We'll create like this. Right click, new, temperature data, and data. Here directory select folder directly. This is the folder, right? Divide and the file name. You can go on inside and select the file name. File name is temperature data. Worksheet. What is the worksheet here? The sheet number one. Sheet one available here. You can directly select all fields. Okay. Is the first row as column names. Okay, we need to check this, otherwise it don't come. Now it came. See here. So you need to check this because in your file, your first name is the column name. So you need to check this and click automatically that month name average temperature came here. So temperature is double it is showing. Even you can change the data type as well here. Okay. So and in the file or automatically whatever is coming, just select that. Like whatever in the file, no, what kind of data in the file, automatically that based on the data it will show. Like in our file, the number was like that temperature, so that's why it is showing that. So we can either we can make it text there and change it, or just keep it as it is and change it later. Okay.
Yeah.
See, click on OK here. So once your file, new file format, that template is created, you have to drag it here inside data flow and execute a query. So here, just first let's read it, then I will discuss about pivot, reverse pivot. Okay. To the output, tgt temp underscore data table. So let's take HANA DB HANA. What is that? DB HANA DB. This one. Right? Save it. We have to execute. Let's see. No error. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, no difference. Okay. There it was taking table as a source. Here only the source has been changed as a file.
Okay.
Then next, the normal transform, how many transform you can use your operation. So basically, mostly in the project level, right? Small objects, you'll get file from the business. So in those cases, we have to read those files, and this file gets changed also. Data gets changed in every cycle. So we don't have to change the structure. If structures change, then you have to create a new structure. Otherwise, the file you will replace, the automatically read the data. Let's see. See, if it is a double data type, so that's why it is showing like this. Okay. Uh, so, but if you will make it text, the format will become text. Okay, then that will work. Or I'll make it a integer here. Suppose integer int. Okay, double to int. Like let's see auto conversion happening or not. Let's see. Yeah. So now it's showing correctly. So this is your file as a source. You cannot use Excel as a target in BODS. Excel as a source you can use. Okay. So target, there is a different format. So here you see Excel, flat files, HDFC file, nested schemas, all are there. So in the Excel, you can use only as a source. Flat file, you can use as a target. Like if you want to generate, that also I'm showing now. Your, well, let me rename it actually. File format, pivot reversal. So we'll create different data flow for all these three topics. Okay. Rename df temp file XLX. So you'll able to understand here. So this is clear, right? So now uh,
Yes.
we have file as a source, but how we can take this to table as well? Sorry, table we are taking as a target. Now I can take into the text file that will show here. So there is different file format. If you click here, the format first. Let's discuss about the format. Here you see options basically. This is the target file format to use. So you need to create like type it is a delimiter. So what delimiter you need to give? So we need to keep as a delimiter name of the file. These are like you can skip all these. You don't use. File location you need to give, file directory, file name you need to put it here. Column like which delimiter you are using, comma, row number, new line. Then escape character header you need to put null. If these are like optional, if it is required, you have to give. Date and time format you need to give. That comes automatically though. And header is there or not. So these things you need to give. Let's create a new one for our table. Create a flat file. To first you need to create the format, then attach to the target. New. So it's a delimiter ff temp data. Okay, let's temp data. So location, local directory you need to give. Which directory you need to give? Just don't. Why did not show in the full? We need to copy the path basically. If it is local, let's copy the path. We copy the path from here. Let's create a folder. Divine. Let me create a new folder in your name. Mm, Rohit. Let's copy this path. We'll put this path as our target directory. The file name, let's keep target temp data or temp data report, temperature report dot txt or CSV, whatever, comma, or you can give something else, tab, space, semicolon, let's keep semicolon, row new line, skipped rows, headers, no, here keep one, okay. Language, these are default. If default is there, no need to do anything. Error handling, all these options based on the requirement you can do, but these are the basic things you need to provide. Have and close. This you want to work, right? We need to provide which field name. These two field name we need to provide here. Like whatever field we have here, we need to keep in the file. So in that case, yes, month name, let's rename this name as month underscore name. Okay. And temperature as average temp. Okay. The same name, let's put it in the file format. Month name, worker 255, then average temp. So basically in file format, when you create as a target, right, you need to make sure all the column names have been added here. All what is there in your target has to be added here first. Um, Average temp. This is a integer. Let's keep integer. That's it. We have it is 255. Let's suppose. What is the length? Perfect. So now we can take this. Let's open it again. Okay, it's coming correctly. Save and close. Take it as, you can make it a source or you can make it a target. So, but Excel you cannot take it as a target. But this file format we can read as a source target. Both we can do. This is target we are doing. Okay. Let's save it. If any error, we'll check. They send the CSV file or text file or Excel file. Anything you can use as a source.
Hmm.
Well, let's execute this job. Okay. It's generated successfully. It's not giving an error. Let's see our file format is created or not. See here. See. So we didn't keep the header name, so that's why header is not coming. We can change it, right? So what we can do here, if you come here, you won't be able to change here. Basically, anything you change in the file level, you have to come here and change here. So go to edit mode, skip rows, make it 0. So it skip basically. Okay, if you keep headers, skip row, make it 0, then it will show rerun. Okay, let's check our output. Yes, what happened? Did we execute? Oh. So if you there is one thing. If you change here, right, you need to sync that output. If I double click here, does it swing? Let's see here. Uh, Keep header one row. 1 second, 1 second. Let's see the timing. 7:32. Let's see execute. No. Basically, it's not taking that. We need to change the font properly. Edit. Keep rows. Oh, skip rows is showing. It's when you click skip rows we selected. That's why January is not coming. It's coming from February because it skipped one row. So make it 0 first. Okay, that was correct. We need to select other options. Skip row header. If you, okay, let's see. No, no, no. The right row header, yes. Right row header you make to yes. So basically, if you write row header, then in the file level, it will come. What happened? It got changed because that time we reversed, right? So that's why it got changed. So let's check the version. Let's re-edit. Consider. Uh, Here we need to rename again because we tried to revert it, so that's why it didn't come properly. So let's keep the same name again. Month name, worker 255, average temperature. Okay, now You have to click on the right row header, yes, and skip row zeros. These options will help you to generate the header as well. Validate, no error. Okay, let's check our target path. So basically it is overwriting. See here, every time you are generating, it's overwriting your previous file. So now you see you have the header name. Okay. If you want to change the delimiter, you come here instead of semicolon, put it as a tab. It will overwrite. Every time you are changing, no? See here, this is also getting changing. So you need to, the complete new format get coming here. So you have to be careful on that. If you change the properties, the file format become a new file format. So that's why that becomes the names and all those gone in those cases. Right. So you can change it like you want to change and define these lines. You can change and experiment. Okay, you can do the practice based on this. You're clear on file, right?
Yes, I'm clear.
Okay. Good. So now we have to do pivot and reverse pivot, right? So let's quickly call pivot. So something is there. Let's prepare another set of data. Let's open another set of data. Let's create another example, another source file. It's so that we can paste it right away. Like this is a year, product, sales. Okay. This is year 2024. Product is suppose a fruit, apple, apples. Sales is 100 and 24 oranges is 150. 2025. Sorry, skip it. Apples 130. 2024. Yes. 1. Okay. So this is approved sales data. Let's keep it as approved sales data. Okay. So this is normal. You put it, you can, it will read it as a number, just a number, or automatically we give it general, it will take it, save it here, here product sales. Let's create another file, Excel file, new, food sales data, select the file, Rohit, lab. Always you select the worksheet. Okay, so there will be two options worksheet because we have it is in the specific worksheet. So it will show you which in that file what are the worksheet available. If you have multiple, like we got data for multiple tables. If from one file you can create, you can read and create multiple tables from one file. If the data is in different tabs, like here in the different tab, like fruit name as apple or sales, like fruit wise there is sales data in different tabs also you can do. Business usually like for one object they'll send suppose some config data, you need to create a cross reference table. So they will share you in one file. So from that one file, you don't need to put it in another file. Different tabs will be there. So based on the tabs, you will able to read and create your tables. So here you import schema. Use this. Otherwise, it will keep like it is coming like this. Here, let's keep it as marker. That is fine. Sales tower. Fine. Let's create another. Here in same job we can use. In same data flow, I can create multiple flow. Okay. It is showing correctly. Make it as integer here. Let's take it as a table. See, in one j we can keep multiple flows in one data flows itself also. One second. TGT. Oh, let's start. Anna implementation. Okay, no issues. This data flow is empty. We have not created yet, but let it be. No error. Always validate. So if you on top of job, then use validate all. Inside query, use always validate all. That is the best way to know if any error is there. Okay. So here you see. Okay, your product sales data are there. Right. So in the next query, what we'll do? Let me close everything. Always keep closing this using this option, because if you every time if you open the window, no, the new window open again and again, multiple window will be open. So your job becomes slow, or the when you do the development, it becomes slow. The advice is just close it. What flow you need, just keep open that flow. DF pivot data. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll take that root data as a source. I created a new one to keep it a give a smaller example. That year was is the big one. That also you can do. Um, what is the table name of it? TGT fruit. Okay. So first use this as a query. So here you have to come, select the pivot transform. Okay. And double click. You see the pivot sequence column. Pivot sequence. Non-pivoted column or pivoted column. There are two options you see here. So it will add a sequence, but data field name pivot data one, data two. But the column name we need to select first actually. Then pivot column, which column we need to do the pivot on the product of the basically product wise, we need to see the data. So here header, okay. Pivoted column, if you put here, just drag and drop here. Okay. This is the one sequence, so we don't have to add. If you have multiple column you want to consider as a pivot column, then you want. Okay. So here Non-pivoted column you need to provide. The column we don't as a non-pivoted column, year and sales. So based on what you need to do the pivot. Like here we need to create based on the product. Like Apple as a new column it will come. Apple or orange. The two are there. So that will come as your pivoted column. So based on that it will get generated. Field column name pivot is date field column. Like I'll keep it as it is showing like this. Let's try with this. Okay, first your cells pivot header one and data one. Will give for data one. For field column. Pivot to data two. Let's check how it is coming, then we'll modify. Okay. PGT save hook sales pivot. So let's execute. One, two, like this it came, right? Basically it didn't do anything. Let's the pivot sequence is given. product and sell in this case. Yeah. So what we'll do, we have to change setting here. Okay. Pivot sequence column is this is your pivot sequence column. We need to put sequence. Uh, so here basically it is doing the reverse pivot. We need to take the reverse pivot. Seems like that. Just a moment. On five vector columns is five vector columns is product default values. Yes. Pivot axis is product, axis values. Okay. It's basically reverse pivot we have to do here. So that's why that didn't work. Okay, just moment. Axis value apple, column prefix apple, axis value oranges, orange. That's it. Input data is no input data is not grouped. So we're good. So here we'll get ears, sales, apple and orange. Okay, so let's validate. It's not calculating. We need to set this. Yeah, pivoted column is product, year and sales. Okay, this value, sales. Axis is sales. Yeah. Output axis need to be different, right? So pivoted column is different, but based on the sales we need to group, right? So axis value we need to change it here. Pivoted column. So the sales will not come. Sales is not a pivoted column. Yes, sales is the axis value. Axis value is product axis. Pivoted column is sales. Here into change. No, no, it's come. This has to be sales. Let's
Hmm. Completed now.
it is showing null because that we could not select. Now this is how it looks like. Okay. So basically we are doing the reverse way. So we need to make it columns, right? Row to columns. So it should be the example, the data what we prepared, it has to be reverse pivot, not pivot. So that's why we saw multiple columns there. But only data has to come. We need to just reselect. It will come like this. Here, apples and orange. And here it will show the count. And it is based on the sales data. So basically, sales is the pivot column. This is the axis. This is axis. Axis will be uh, on what you are going to create the um, no, the values, the column names, and on what column you want to create. Somehow it is not selecting. Let's take another reverse pivot. Here. Ah, okay. One will be non-pivot, one will be pivot, another one is axis. So axis is product. The product will given value apples, axis value if it is apples, then column prefix is apple. If it is orange, it will be orange. Okay. Now let's see this, this should work. If you double click this, you'll see here apples, orange. They have not scheduled the next call, so that's why I'm just extending this call. Yeah, let's check it. Still showing off, surprisingly. Orange cells, apple cells. Hmm. Apple cells of apple. Yeah. It has to be this. The format I've given, this is correct only. But let's check why data is not coming. It has to be. We are doing correctly only. Just I'm checking why the data is not the aggregation. Mm.